So, in this tutorial, we're going to talk about some basic iPad settings and troubleshooting. The first one is brightness. There are two ways to adjust your brightness. One way is to click on the settings icon and go into the settings menu. Now on the left-hand side, you'll see a display and brightness button. Click it and it opens up your brightness menu onto the screen. At the top of the screen, you'll see the brightness slider. If you want to change your brightness, you'll slide that to the left to make it dimmer or to the right to make it brighter. Please make sure that your brightness is always set to 50% or more. You also see the auto brightness toggle button. You want to keep your auto brightness off. What auto brightness does is it judges the amount of light in the room and adjusts your brightness according to that. So keep your auto brightness off and your slider 50% or more. The other way that you can do that is through the control center. To access the control center, put your finger at the bottom and slide up. This opens up the control center and you have the brightness slider on the right hand side, just like you did before, 50% or higher at all times. Another thing in your control center is your Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi is the second button right next to the little airplane. If that button is white, your Wi-Fi is currently turned on. If it's grayed out, then your Wi-Fi is off. Sometimes when you get here in the morning, you will need to toggle the Wi-Fi off and back on again so that you connect to the school's Wi-Fi. Sometimes you'll need to check your Wi-Fi settings if you're having a problem with the Wi-Fi. Here's how you do that. Let's go back to your home screen by closing your control center, and you will open up your settings. So click the settings icon. Then on the left-hand side on your menu, you'll see Wi-Fi up at the top. Mine says Belton ISD next to it because I'm currently connected to Belton ISD Wi-Fi. If you click on Wi-Fi, it opens up the menu there. It shows that Belton ISD is checked. Some of you may have guest checked, and that's okay too. That's still a Belton Wi-Fi. If you have neither of those checked, you may need to toggle the slider on or off and back on again so that you'll connect to the Belton ISD Wi-Fi. If it says anything else, you're not connected. Next, we'll talk about your multitasking menu. If you have a bunch of apps open, right now I'm just going to open some apps just so you can see how it works. So throughout the day, you've opened all of these apps and you've used all of them. That's going to affect your iPad's productivity and how fast it runs sometimes. So you want to close out some of those apps and get rid of them so your iPad's not thinking about them anymore. To do this, double tap the home key. When you do that, you'll get your multitasking menu. That's all of the apps that you've opened since you've gone and gotten rid of them. To get rid of them, put your finger on one and drag it upwards. That closes out the app completely. You can do two at a time, or you can just do one at a time and clean up your iPad so that there's not a lot of stuff running in the background. To get out of the multitasking menu, just click the home button once. Next thing we need to discuss is battery life. As you see in the top right-hand corner of my screen, I have 68% on my battery. It has the battery icon and shows the percentage. If you don't have this percentage, let's talk about how to turn it on so that you do have it and you know exactly how much battery that you have and your teachers can check it in the morning. Again, click on Settings. Now, under General, you will see a button that says Usage. If you click on that, it'll open up your battery usage menu. You have the battery percentage toggle switch that you can flip on and off that will show you your percentage. And then if you click on Usage and wait for it to load, it'll show you exactly how much battery is being used by which app. The thing you need to do is check for iOS updates. Always run these at home, never at school. It takes way too long. Go to your settings. Click on the General tab on the left-hand side. Scroll all the way to the top and you see Software Update. If you tap that, it'll show you if you have an update or not. There may also be a little red bubble by your settings menu if you have an update. As you see, mine is already updated, so there's nothing that I need to do right now. If you have an update, make sure your iPad's plugged in and that it's got at least 51%, and you can run your update. And the very last thing that we're going to talk about today are multitasking gestures. This makes it much easier and much more efficient to move around your iPad, close apps, switch apps, and things like that. So to go to your multitasking gestures, click on your settings and General. Right there in the middle of the page, you will see a button that is green next to the words multitasking gestures. Make sure that button is green. That means it's on. If it's not green, that means it's off. Switch it on, and we're going to take some time in class today to show you what the multitasking gestures are and how to use them.